Hello and welcome to Daily Current Affairs by Neo IAS. Today is 3rd July 2019 and the topics for discussion are Rashtriya Vayoshri Yojana, National Food Security Act, National Electric Mobile Mission Plan, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Map Aided Program and Previous Year Question Revision Series. Now coming to the first topic is Rashtriya Vayoshri Yojana. Now this is in news because 326 districts have been selected from all the states and union territories for the implementation of this Yojana. So let's talk about what is this Yojana. Now this is a scheme for providing physical aids and assisted living devices for senior citizens belonging to the BPL category, that is below poverty line category. It was introduced by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment in 1st April of 2017. Now, under the scheme, assisted living devices, like walking sticks, elbow crutches, walkers, tripods, hearing aids, wheelchair, etc. Such kind of assisted living devices will be provided to the beneficiary free of cost. So, the senior citizens who are under BPL category, they will be getting these devices for free of cost. Now, this scheme is entirely funded by the Senior Citizens Welfare Fund. Let's talk about the implementation of this plan. Now, this scheme is being implemented by the Artificial Limbs Manufacturing Corporation, that is ALIMCO, and this is the sole implementing agency. Now, ALIMCO is a public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. The devices under the scheme will be distributed from a camp mode. So they'll set up camps here and there in different parts of the country, in the districts, and they will look for how many senior citizens are there which require such assisted living devices, and they'll be giving it to them at their doorstep. For 80 years or more people, senior citizens having 80 years or more, the devices will be given to them at their doorstep. For the rest, they will be giving on a camp mode. Now, coming to the next topic is National Food Security Act. Now, this is in news because the central government has recorded, the central pool of all the stock grains or the food grains that the country is currently having. Now, as of 1st June 2019, it is about 741 lakh tons of rice and 465 lakh tons of wheat. So, now let's talk about this act. Now, the National Food Security Act of 2013 is an act of the Parliament of India which aims to provide subsidized food grains to approximately 2/3 of India's population. So 1.2 billion population is India's population. Out of the 2/3 of the people will be given this given subsidized food grains under the scheme. So here a question which I see personally is that here maybe the UPSC can ask a question that under National Food Security Act, all the citizens of India are provided subsidized food grains. That is wrong. It is only 2/3 of the entire population of India. So this act is also known as Right to Food Act, and the National Food Security Act was enacted in July of 2013. Now we'll talk about the provisions in this act. Now, it gives the legal entitlement to 67% of the population, that is 75% in rural areas and 50% of urban areas, to receive highly subsidized food grains. So 67% of the entire population of India, out of that 75% in the rural areas will get subsidized food grains and 50% in urban areas will be given subsidized food grains. Now under this act, food grain is allocated at the following rates, which is like 5 kg per person per month for priority household category and 35 kg per month for AAY families, and highly subsidized prices of 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee for nutri cereals, wheat and rice respectively. The coverage under this act is based on the population figures of the census of 2011. So the 2011, the latest census data, they will be pulling it out and they will identify the beneficiaries under this act. So now the act has special focus on the nutritional support of women and children, and besides the meal given to pregnant women and lactating mothers during pregnancy and 6 months after childbirth, these women will be entitled for receiving maternity benefits of rupees 6,000, not greater than 6,000. But however, this provision is restricted only for women having two children. I mean, two children only. They can't have more than two children. Now, children up to 14 years of age will be entitled for nutritious meals as per the prescribed nutrition standard, and the eldest women of the household of age 18 years or above will be the head of the household for the purpose of issuing ration cards. This basically which means is that the eldest women in any household will be the head in terms of issuing the ration cards, not the male. Here it's the female which is the head. Now, in case of non-supply of entitled food grains or meals to the beneficiaries, they will receive a food security allowance that will be given. Now, this act also contains provisions for setting up grievance redressal mechanism at the district and state level. And separate provisions have also been made in the act for ensuring transparency and accountability. So that's all for that previous topic. Now coming to the next topic, it's National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. Now this is in news because the e-vehicles industry is, trying to create a 10 million jobs in the future under this e-vehicles industry. So let's talk about this plan. The National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020 is a national mission document providing the vision and the roadmap for faster adoption of electric vehicles and their manufacturing in our country. Now, it was initiated in the year 2013 with an objective to put 6 to 7 million electric vehicles on Indian roads by 2020 and committing to achieve 30% e-mobility in the country by 2030. So, by 2030, at least 30% of the vehicles running in India must be electric. Now, it has been designed to enhance the national fuel security. You know, India is importing a lot of oil for energy requirements. So, here the fuel, the petrol and diesel, for its its security, this program has been designed. Now, it is also there for affordable and environment-friendly transportation to enable the Indian automotive industry to achieve global manufacturing leadership. Now, under this scheme, the Department of Heavy Industry has formulated this scheme, and they have also come out with a new scheme called FAME India, which has been released in 2015. Now, it is to promote manufacturing of electric and hybrid vehicle technology and to ensure sustainable growth. Now, the FAME India scheme, it has two phases. Now, we'll talk about the first phase. Now, the phase 1 of FAME India scheme was initially launched for a period of 2 years. Now, it commenced in 1st April of 2015 and subsequently extended till 31st March of 2019. That was the extension period. The first phase of FAME India scheme was implemented through 4 focus areas, that is demand creation, technology platform, pilot project and charging infrastructure. Now, in this phase, the market creation through demand incentives was aimed and at intensifying all vehicle segments, that is, create demand for 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, passenger 4-wheelers, light commercial vehicles and buses also. So basically all the vehicles, they need demand in terms of e-vehicles. Under phase 2, now this phase will mainly focus on supporting electrification of public and shared transportation. Now that will include over 7,000 e-buses and E3 vehicles, 4 vehicles, basically on the electric side. Now, the scheme will be applicable to mainly vehicles used for public transport and those registered for commercial purpose. However, the privately owned registered 2-wheelers will also be covered under the scheme as a mass segment. Creation of charging infrastructure will be supported in selected cities and along with major highways to address the range anxiety among the users of this electric vehicles. Now, coming to the next topic is Jal Shakti Abhiyan. This is in news because the government has started Jal Shakti Abhiyan for 255 water stressed districts from 1st of July. Now, we'll talk about this Abhiyan. It is an initiative to ramp up rainwater harvesting and conservation effort in 255 water stressed districts. Okay. Now, in this, the campaign for water conservation and water security in 1,592 stressed blocks in the 256 districts. So, out of the 256 districts, They have identified 1,592 stressed blocks, water stressed blocks, and the campaign for water will be in those stressed blocks. Even though the water is a state issue, the campaign will be coordinated by 255 central IAS officers of joint or additional secretary rank. The campaign seems to follow the mode of last year's Gram Swaraj Abhiyan, where central officials monitored the implementation of 7 flagship documentation schemes in 117 aspirational districts across the country. Now this campaign will be run in 2 phases. The 2 phases because India has 2 phases of monsoon, that is the southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoon. So from July 1st to September 15th, the states will be receiving the southwest monsoon, and from 1st October to 30th of November, the states will be receiving the retreating northeast monsoon. The objectives under this scheme, there are 5 objectives, that is water conservation and rainwater harvesting, renovation of traditional and other water bodies or tanks, reuse of water and recharging of structures such as bore wells, watershed development and intensive afforestation. It is not just managing water, but afforestation is also a part of this. Now these are already being carried out under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, MG-NREGA, and it is also being carried out by the other one, which is the Integrated Watershed Management Program by the Ministry of Rural Development. Okay, now the block and district level conservation plans will be drafted by the Kisan Vigyan Kendras, and they would hold melas to promote better crop choices and also for more efficient water use for irrigation. Now coming to the map aided program, today we will be talking about the Ramsar sites of Rajasthan. So Rajasthan has 2 Ramsar sites. The first one is Sambar Lake and the other one is Keola Dio National Park. So let's talk about Sambar Lake. Now Sambar Lake is India's largest inland salt lake, and it is located somewhere southwest of Jaipur. The Sambar Lake is completely surrounded by the Aravalli Hills, and it is a key wintering area for tens and thousands of pink flamingos and other birds that migrate from northern Asia and Siberia. So this is the reason why this lake is very important. Now coming to the next Ramsar site, which is Keola Dio National Park. Now Keola Dio National Park is also called Ghana National Park in India, and this is a man-made and man-managed wetland. Okay. Now the one negative about this national park is that it has fallen under the Montreux record. Now Montreux record is basically another record separate from the Ramsar site, which will have lists of all the wetlands in the world wherein there is a heavy destruction of the wetlands happening. So in the Montreux record, the Keola Dio National Park is also present, which means there is high chance of destruction of this national park. So now coming to the, now you can see the location of the national parks in the diagram given. Now coming to the previous year question revision series, consider the following statements. 1. The winds which blow between 30° north and 60° south latitude throughout the year is known as westerlies. 2. The moist air mass that causes winter rain in northwestern region of India are part of the westerlies. Now we have to select the correct option out of the 2. This is a very fairly easy question according to me. So the winds blowing between 30° north, which is Tropic of Cancer, and the other latitude they are giving is 60° south, that is below the equator, way below the equator. So you know that between them the westerlies just form in the in the southern hemisphere between 30° south and 60° south. But here they are asking from 30° north to 60° south. So between 30° north and 30° south we have the trade winds, and after that we have the westerlies. So here knowing that, we can eliminate option 1, and coming to the second option, which is the moist air mass that causes winter rains in northwestern region of India are part of the westerlies, is true. Basically the westerlies that they flow over the Mediterranean Sea, they bring cyclonic storm to the northwestern part of India, and they cause moist precipitation in the northwestern part of India. So therefore it's pretty clear that this option, the answer for this option is B. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any doubts or queries, please comment in the comment section below. Thank you.